Hi, it's James. I am the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country. Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday. Tomorrow I will be doing the picks, and then Friday I'll be heading on a jet plane to Utah. So we'll do the video of Rice Eccles Stadium on Saturday morning. Try to get that posted. Head up the road. Apparently Provo is only an hour away. Go up to Provo. I've been told a few good eating places along the way too, so I may do like a special video of just a food place. Remember, the whole point of me making this trip is to show you what these other stadiums look like, and to kind of, if in the future, as an Oklahoma State fan, if you decide to go to Provo, or if, God willing, Utah is a part of the 4 teams that joins the Big 12 and we become the Big 16, like a lot of people are saying is going to happen, that means that eventually down the road we may have a game against Utah in Salt Lake. So there's a place called The Pie in Salt Lake, and that's where I'm trying to schedule everything out. I'm probably going to eat lunch there. I don't know. I'm still looking at options. I'm definitely going to try a cougar tail when I go there Saturday night at BYU's Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Anyway, this video is, of course, this whole channel is about talking about Oklahoma State stuff, defending Oklahoma State against these national experts that want to talk about. Seems like all they want to talk about is Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State and Clemson and Penn State and a few other teams, Michigan, and it's like they've got to learn that there are other conferences besides the Big Ten and the SEC. And I just think their bias just comes through. It's sad. It's really sad. Now, are there good teams in the Big Ten? Absolutely. Are there good teams in the SEC? Of course. I'm impressed with Florida's improvement. I like their new mobile quarterback. I think, he's young. He's going to make a few mistakes this year. But come next year, Florida's going to be a legitimate contender. So I'm just putting that out there. So let's look at the 4 guys that Fox, if I can find the picture, I'll put it here. I may put the one that had, there was 4 different choices for who you thought was the front runner for the Heisman, and then somebody sarcastically stuck a picture of Spencer Sanders in the middle of them after 2 games. It was like, hey, wait a minute, we have a great quarterback too. Hello, McFly. So, but let's look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Great quarterback, great athlete. After 3 games, he is 62 of 85, so he's completed roughly 73% of his passes. He's thrown for 941 yards. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Pretty good. Caleb Williams, USC, former OU quarterback, set the world on fire last year during OU Texas. I mean, he literally came on this off the bench and took that game over and pretty much put the team on his back. He, at USC this year, is 64 of 86, so he's completed 74.4% of his passes. So he's pretty much completing like 3 out of 4. That's really good. He's thrown for 874 yards. He's completed 8 touchdowns and no interceptions. Pretty good. His completion rate is higher than C.J. Stroud's, but he doesn't have as many throwing yards. Bryce Young, Alabama, the defending Heisman Trophy winner. Amazing athlete. 58 of 85, completing 68.2% of his passes. He's only thrown for 644 yards, though. He's thrown 9 touchdowns, but has thrown 2 interceptions. So not quite as good at numbers as the other two. But still, Alabama can run the football and throw the football. So Stetson Bennett, Georgia, 65 of 88, completing 73.9% of his passes. I mean, he is right behind Caleb Williams as far as his completion percentage. 952 yards, which is more than any of the other three, but he's only thrown for 5 touchdowns. Of course, with Georgia, they get it close and they just run it in. No interceptions. Now, those are all really good quarterbacks. They're great athletes. They deserve the hype that they're getting. How is Spencer Sanders compared to those 4? Okay. Well, Spencer Sanders is 62 of 95. He's completed 65.3% of his passes, so it's a little bit lower than the others. But he's thrown for 916 yards, which is more than 2 of them. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. So he has more touchdowns than anybody but C.J. Stroud, but he threw 1 pick. Those numbers are on par with all 4 of those guys. He should be up there with them. He should be in the discussion for a Heisman. This is no joke. I believe that Spencer Sanders deserves to be mentioned in the talks for a Heisman. Now, here's where I think things are going to clear up because once we get past September, October 1st, Oklahoma State has to play at Baylor. They begin conference play. There's going to be tougher competition. Same thing goes with the others. Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, USC. Ohio State's going to have to deal with more than just Michigan. They're going to have to deal with Michigan State. They're going to have to deal with Penn State. Penn State's a decent team this year. They're going to have so that's not going to be an easy road. USC, Oregon's pretty good. Washington's pretty good. Stanford was okay against them, but put up a decent fight. Alabama, of course. Alabama plays in the SEC West. You got to deal with LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. So it's not going to be an easy road for any of these teams. Oklahoma State's going to have to play at Baylor, at Kansas State, at OU this year. They got Texas at home, which is good. I think they have Tech at home. I don't remember. But anyway, the point is, these 5 quarterbacks deserve to be mentioned in the Heisman discussion. I believe Spencer Sanders is as good as any of them. And the national folks need to wake up to that fact. In my opinion, there's a clear bias against Oklahoma State on some of the writers in the AP poll. But as Robert Allen has said here recently, guess what? The AP poll really doesn't matter. The only poll that really matters is the one that the playoff committee puts out in a couple weeks. So there is some bias against Oklahoma State. But then again, we've had a history of doing really well and then falling short to the Sooners. So if Spencer Sanders really wants to be considered amongst the elite in college football, he's going to have to play well against Kansas State and Baylor on the road and OU in Norman, which is not an easy task. Whether you like the Sooners or not, the atmosphere in Norman is always electric. And with now that they've bowled in that one end zone, and I showed you in the video where on the outside it almost looks like a castle. I thought they did a super job with that, and they did that on purpose. The way they bowled in that end zone, it goes back to the overtime rule. If you have an end zone where you have a lot of people crammed into a small space, if you have to play overtime, then you clearly have an advantage. The other team is having to deal with all that noise. Of course, you can always run a silent count and do certain things in hostile environments, but I will give the Sooners credit. They have a definite home field advantage. And Spencer Sanders is going to have to show that he can put up these kind of numbers in Norman or at Manhattan, Kansas, or at Waco in a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to guarantee that he's going to win, but I do think, at least right now, after 3 games, he should be in the conversation. So anyway, if you're new here, please hit like and subscribe. If you are a subscriber, if you've been around for a while, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Remember, whether you got your degree at Oklahoma State or not, as long as you wear orange and black, you are a member of Cowboy Country, and I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, we'll talk about Week 4's predictions. Remember, they're only for entertainment purposes. I have to put that little caveat in there. I don't want anybody suing me because I gave them suggestions on who to bet, and then they'd lose money. It's for entertainment purposes, okay? I'm trying to show you that I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to college football. So, until then, have a great day, and thank you for watching.